Welcome back to the People's Guild. If you are invested in Splinterlands or if you are just curious about Splinterlands, then this podcast is for you.
All right. Well, third time's a charm. We got 3 podcast episodes coming out this week for you guys. And here we are back at our usual scheduled time. Before we get started, Waskell and I, B. Jingles, were just discussing the Mav chat and how cool of a community it is. And I know we've kind of harped on this over the last couple of months, but I think it's worth mentioning it again because we have seen Agrod really embrace a very active role in the Mav chat. I was scrolling through this morning and seeing him personally welcome particular folks, new folks into the Mav chat channel and kind of hashing out Splinterfest plans and sharing a little bit of alpha and talking about some big plans that I think in a little bit of a discreet manner is a bit of an understatement, but sharing a little bit of alpha with the Mav chat community. So if you guys have not taken a scroll through there, or if the Mav chat is something new to you, I definitely suggest hopping into the Splinterlands Discord and navigating your way to the Mav chat. And for those of you that don't know, the Mav chat is an exclusive channel for those folks who have purchased 1,000+ Chaos Legion packs from the in-game store. So quick shout out to Aggie. I love seeing it. We both kind of felt our minds get boggled a little bit by the fact that such a big growing company with obviously a ton on its plate, and the CEO himself has time to hop in and chat, shoot the shit, and talk shop and talk waffles and tattoos and anything outside in between with the community and the top clients of the game. I think it's such a cool aspect.
Yeah, I think it just like what we mentioned before, right? Just what other companies can you do this? Like, just have such a great, relaxed interaction with the CEO, right?
Agreed. Yeah. Shout out to you, Aggie. Very cool, man.
I think another big shout out today as well that we hit 3 billion games played today as well. Did you see that?
I did see that, and at first I didn't realize how big of a kind of a landmark that is. And what put it into perspective was that we hit 2 billion earlier this year. So,
wow.
Yeah, so we've seen a very significant jump in overall player base and battles played, especially considering the last couple of months we've seen a pretty significant drop in overall battles played, right? And to still hit that next billion mark.
Yeah, cool. I don't know, sometimes these numbers just get banded around, right? And it's kind of just hard to put things in perspective. But I think that set me up for a little question for you, sir. How long would it take you, if you were doing it second by second, how long would it take you to count to 1 billion?
Oh boy. I think I know this number. And I think it's a bit of an absurd fact. I think 1 million is something like 2 weeks, maybe?
Could be
3 weeks, and then 1 billion is more than a year, I think.
Well, to be exact, it's 31 years, 251 days, 7 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds of counting non-stop. So no time for your cat naps.
Oh man. Yeah, just a little bit more than a year. Holy shit. 31 years. And how long does it take to count to 1 million? Just to put that in perspective.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm checking now.
11 days, 13 hours, 46 minutes. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
So 11 days to 31 years.
So yeah. So basically, people are just grinding away. Obviously, a lot of bots are kind of involved with those numbers, right? But still, it's a hell of a
big achievement.
Yeah,
big achievement. Yeah.
So
Awesome.
SPS rewards, rank rewards have hit home this week. Have you
Yeah.
been grinding away?
I've been stacking and staking, brother. I've got so I saved my yesterday was the first full day at least that I played with SPS ranked rewards available for the taking, and I have saved my claimed SPS just so we had kind of a number to talk about. Um, I started with about a 90%, give or take a couple points ECR,
Yeah.
and played a decent number of battles. I let the Archmage run about a battle an hour last night while I was sleeping. Didn't do too well, so my SPS takings from the old Archmage aren't particularly noteworthy, but my total claim from yesterday is right about 28 SPS.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in a day, which is fantastic. That's awesome.
Wow. So and
How'd
how
you do?
much I think I got in I'm trying to I like you, I just got the Archmage running. And normally I just let it go for like 10 hours and then just rest and then I kind of do my tournaments. But yesterday I just thought I would try. So I just try to play myself a bit more than I have been doing ranked battles. And I let the Archmage run for like 6 hours, two battles hour. And like you, yeah, it was kind of doing pretty good. I should check the numbers out actually, how much that earns compared to me. But I kind of yeah, just in that day, it was like I think just only 7 SPS, but I just played 10 battles, and the Archmage was running for those 6 hours. So we didn't
Mhm.
play as much as you,
Well,
but I
to be
kind of
fair, I should provide a little bit of an asterisk there that seven or eight of those SPS were from the rewards.
oh yeah,
So
that
I got about 20, I think is probably a good round number estimate of my ranked reward SPS earnings.
that's pretty sweet, right? That
Oh,
is
that's
pretty
awesome.
sweet. Like just
That's
over a
awesome.
week, you're gonna get like 140 SPS maybe on average, plus your staked SPS. My
Yep.
stake to SPS was down yesterday. I just thought maybe someone mentioned there's a bit of a glitch happening. I normally get 5 SPS staked per day, but I only got two. And the APR, I don't know if you've noticed, but for staked SPS, it's rising. It's like 33.5%. And a couple of weeks ago, it went below 30. So um, well, number one, it should be higher, but I think number two as well, it kind of shows people are starting to unstake the SPS
Mm. Yeah, we
for
do have
obvious reasons.
I think for a long time we had staked far exceeding liquid, and I hadn't checked this number recently, but um, liquid is in excess of staked SPS at this point in time. So whether that's folks gearing up for, there's a few different avenues in which you can leverage liquid SPS to make purchases, whether that's Splinterfest or Rift Watchers or nodes. Um, yeah, so perhaps that's the play, one of those three, or all of the
Yeah,
above.
there was a really interesting video from Bulldog today. Shout out to Bulldog. He kicked my butt last night in the tourney as well. But he released this video. It was kind of really cool, actually. I think lots of people have been selling their SPS for DEC. In game, there's a function now on the website where you can trade your SPS for DEC, but he was just telling people not to do that because you get a much better value if you did it on tribal decks,
Huh.
for example. So it's quite interesting. I thought I'm just wondering if the team had mentioned that to him to let people know, or he just said it himself. Because I know he's a team member, right? So some people may feel that he is conflicted in some ways, but it's definitely nice to see. And he was like it was a big, it was a big difference.
Huh. I wonder if that's if folks are leveraging the burn mechanic already.
Yeah. Well, I personally also just thought selling SPS um for DEC was the way, but I did actually forget you can just swap it. You don't actually have to burn the SPS. You can just swap it on tribal decks, right? It's I don't know. Maybe as we get closer to Rift Watchers, it will change. But the more maybe, and it's just also depends who you listen to, right? But some people are now predicting that they can't really see SPS moving that much. I think someone it was Gank actually mentioned that lots of people are waiting for this big pump in SPS to buy their Rift Watcher cards, packs, or people like us are waiting for that SPS pump to buy a node, right? But no one knows for sure, right? It depends how many people are waiting.
Yeah,
And
if everyone's well, I mean, the part of the waiting game is stacking while it's cheap, right? Which will eventually evaporate that lower end of the market, which
yeah.
should drive the price up as long as the purchases exceed the sales. Um,
Yeah, I also just get a feeling that the whales, the big boys, ha, they've done this before. They have had time to unstake their SPS, or they've had time to swap their DEC for SPS as it rises, or what make whatever moves they have. So I kind of just get a feeling that a large percentage of people that are going to buy these Rift Watcher cards are already just there primed, ready to pounce. So, but that could also be said for the people buying nodes, right? But we also saw a big push, a big pump in SPS, like over double the price, right?
mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think vouchers as well. Did you hear in the town hall that it's very likely they'll only need vouchers for the pre-sale as well, and it's yet to
Yeah,
be
I think I
confirmed.
saw the number was estimated to be 20% of total pack purchases. So that would be 600,000 packs that would require vouchers.
Yeah, I thought Nate kind of mentioned it would be 500,000, but yeah, five hundred
Mm,
thousand, 600,000. Yeah.
mm.
But I suppose I heard some people mention that it's likely that more vouchers would be needed, but I suppose then the argument could be if voucher prices push really high, then to need two vouchers to buy one pack um, might not necessarily be a good thing, right? Because then
Well, I mean, I
each
guess
pack
it
would,
depends on what price you buy your vouchers at, right? Right now, they were hovering around 50 cents for a little bit, and now they've dropped back down to just over 42 cents. So
yeah,
it's not a bad time to pick up some extra vouchers for the purpose of securing some Rift Watchers if that's the play. I think a lot is really going to be determined. I wish I had the hindsight of what the Chaos Legion release looked like, and you know how how much ahead of time did the Splinterlands team release the cards and release the updated abilities, and how much thinking time was there between letting the community know this is what the deck is or what the release is going to look like, and here is when the release date is. I think if we see some new abilities that are hard counters for the likes of a kitty, or additional nerfs towards somebody like Llama or Jotun, then that very well could be the catalyst to spiking prices in both SPS and vouchers. So yeah, we have to be getting close to some more details. September is a week from today for us, which means Rift Watchers is at some point in the next 5 weeks going to be available.
Yeah. How many abilities are these epic summoners going to have? Is it 2?
I do not believe we know yet. I don't know that I think a lot's going to be determined by what's the mana cost.
Yeah.
If it's a 4 or 5 mana epic summoner, then I would assume a 5 mana epic summoner would probably include at least 2, maybe 3, depending on the strength of the abilities that are applied.
Yeah, I was just thinking then where you mentioned about nerfing, your llamas and your Joduns. I was just wondering, would an epic summoner be able to do that? But yeah, time will tell.
Maybe, we were talking yesterday about how difficult of a time we had in the recent gold tournament, and just facing Kitty, Llama, and Jotun. And as much as the team has attempted to nerf the Jotun with the likes of like Reflection Shield, and I think Grandmaster Wraith is a great general nerf to Jotun, and I think Quix is a decent nerf to both Jotun and Kitty. But if you run into a fully stacked Untamed deck, I don't think that Chaos Legion and the rewards cards really can hold a candle to a strong player with those Untamed cards and abilities. So if we get an epic summoner that comes with something like Reflection Shield, or we were talking about that time dwarf that Nate dropped some eye candy for. I forget what the
dwarfish time meddler.
Dwarfish time meddler. Yeah. So I went out on a limb and made the prediction that he's going to bring one of the new abilities called Time Warp, and going to apply reverse speed to the opponent's team, which would be obviously a very hard counter to Kitty. So maybe something like that on an epic summoner would change the game.
So basically, that ability would just make all the other team's slowest cards go first.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a great call, man. That would be a game changer, wouldn't it? Especially even for me, man. Lots of people. Speed is your go-to, right? Especially like now you got that General Jasik
Conqueror. Colonel.
The Conqueror.
The Colonel Conqueror. Conqueror Jessic.
Conqueror Jessic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still wouldn't be able to get around the True Strike, but I think the major advantage to Kitty, True Strike is fantastic. Not being able to miss is a really great ability, but I think Kitty's biggest strength, and I think I've heard Dwayne and Hawks kind of resonate on this, is the biggest strength that Kitty brings to the table is the +2 speed. That just really gives you a chance to do a significant amount of damage to the opposing team before they can do anything. And if you're able to flip the table and all of a sudden your team is going first, and then their slowest monsters are going first. That really screws up like not just the attacks, but also the repairs and the heals and all of those other supporting abilities that you kind of place in a lineup to strategically apply a repair or a triage or a tank heal, in a particular order. Yeah, cool. I
Yeah, I
would love to see
find.
that ability.
Yeah, I find. Yeah, speed is just a difference in, especially I found in that Chaos Legion tourney that we did the other day. I had because my my gripe with the Chaos Legion tourneys is that people can just have pretty much the same lineup, right? And there's a small amount of cards to kind of make that difference. But for example, I had pretty much the same lineup as the guy I was battling, but he just had an extra speed in there, and that was just the difference. All those guys, even my +1 speed was just no good. Yeah, nerfing people, giving
Mm.
them extra speed. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
I think the Chaos Legion only tournaments is a good kind of um, micro view into what a ghost card tournament would look like. Everybody's granted pretty much at this point, if you're competing in the gold or diamonds Chaos Legion only decks, it's probably a pretty safe bet that everybody's competing with max for that tournament and has the entirety of the Chaos Legion catalog available to employ for their battles. And the ghost card tournaments is going to work in a very similar fashion. And at that point, it's just about, what's the clever play here? What's the one kind of strategy or counter strategy that you can put into battle that your opponent didn't count on. So I quite like the Chaos Legion only stuff. It largely in part to that being my most significantly held edition in the game, and that's where I have the bulk of my better cards. But also it's a fair playing ground. You're not going to run into the one of a few hundred people that has a maxed out kitty, right? Everybody's got coming from the same spot.
Yeah, I suppose another advantage, if I think about it, is just that there will be no surprises, right? You kind of know that deck pretty well, right? Like compared to when we were playing just a few months ago, Wild, like suddenly all these cards are coming out. It's like what? Like just never seen that one before. But with this one, at least you can predict your enemy's attack. Saying that, I still didn't do very well in that tournament. How did you finish in that tournament?
I think I got
10-0, right?
Going into the second round, yeah, I think I got 5th or 6th place.
Nice.
It was not bad. It was close to 100 SPS, I think.
Wow. Sweet daddy. So do you find with those CL tournaments that you kind of just, the more you played it, the more you play it, just the more familiar you become with it and strategies?
I mean, there was certainly an element of luck. I think there was at least a couple of occasions where the lineups were mirror images of one another. And there were other instances where it was, like you said, almost an identical lineup on the other side, but maybe one card was switched into a different position.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to RNG. But for the most part, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable and confident in playing in the CL tournaments. And I don't always fare well, but when I do fare well, I've had a couple top 10 finishes, which is
man, great.
I've been happy.
I think thinking about and we'll touch on it later with Splinterfest. They're gonna have a cool tournament in that. I'm thinking for the for eye candy for people watching. I think just having a Chaos Legion only tournament might not be the best, just from what you just said before. That if you get too many of those games where the opposition just mirrors each other, I think I don't know.
It's not
Uh,
super exciting.
yeah, but if you have like modern, for example, I think you're just gonna have many more different teams and just yeah, just more exciting. So yeah, it'll be interesting what they go for. Have you got any predictions for how they're gonna do those tournaments? I know they're going to have ghost tournaments, which is going to be great. Everyone will have the same deck, the same opportunity to use those leveled up cards or whatever level they decide. But what do you think they will go with in terms of decks?
Um, yeah, I would have to imagine it's got to be modern. Um, so I think there's only two tournaments that will be played. Um, one of them is a champion level. I'm looking through the Splinterfest deck to find those details. I don't remember where I had seen them. Um,
I know it's going to be big money, like over
yeah, there's a couple plots of
12,000.
land. Couple plots of
Oh
land
yeah,
are up for grabs. Maybe it was in the town hall recap that we saw the breakdown. Oh yeah, so one regular foil gold league tournament, and then one gold foil champion tournament, and those are both going to be ghost cards tournaments. Um, and yeah, I would have to guess that it's going to be modern across the board. Um, and maybe that's where uh the new promo summoner gets dropped. Is she or he? I think it's going to be a she. I think we've already actually seen her, but she hasn't been kind of announced as the new legendary summoner. But yeah, I have to imagine that all of Rift Watchers is going to be tossed in there. Um, the new legendary summoner is going to be in there. So yeah, I'm going to guess it's going to be the full that will be the first kind of unveiling of a ghost card fully modern tournament. So that's going to include Untamed Dice, Chaos Legion, and Rift Watchers, as well as the rewards cards. And that's kind of the full unveiling of what the modern era will look like until Rebellion comes.
mm.
So that's what I'm assuming is going to be the play, but yeah, time will tell.
Yeah. It's going to be great advertising for those new cars, right? But I suppose at that time we would have had the opportunity to buy those, right?
Yeah, so Rift
Yeah.
Watchers will
Okay.
have
Oh yeah, it's October. Okay.
Splinterfest is the second week of October, and Rift Watchers, unless something has changed or is going to change, Rift Watchers will be dropping in September next month.
I think also that's it's a number one, it's a great opportunity for the team to showcase what could be, but I can imagine as well it's also big pressure as well because to get that right and to make it a success could bring in lots of people, right?
Yeah, yeah. I I hope the team is, 1,000 people doesn't feel like a whole lot, and I wonder how much of that um is planning to be or is forecasted to be filled by current community members. How much of that is planning to be given away as, kind of promo, whether
Mm,
potential partners or, I think there is something to be said for Splinterfest's potential to be leveraged for, kind of tightening up some deals and landing some
yeah.
partnerships and, just a savvy business move. Um, I get the general sense that Splinterfest is really about celebrating the community and the last 4 years. So I would say that, being in Vegas, smart money would say that Splinterfest is really going to go towards the community. But I would also assume that Chatter and Aggie and Matt and Co have some pretty sweet marketing cards up their sleeves in terms of how can they leverage this big event to secure some partnerships for the future.
Oh yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity to give away some free tickets to various companies. It's going to be. I just think it's going to be. In my mind, it would be just great if they kind of hire, something like Cirque du Soleil, kind of like performance, just to open it. Because if you look at that, the promo for Splinterfest, it looks very, yeah, masquerade, not masquerade, but yeah, Cirque du Soleil kind of style. I would love if they just kind of, open with a bang and, just for the people there, but also it's just promoting. We have to promote, right?
Yeah, are you familiar with the music and arts festival Burning Man?
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, like, kind of sexy character hanging off the back of this really grimy caravan with this big, ugly, like, evil beast pulling the thing. Yeah, I was just thinking, wow, that's got Burning Man written all over it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a steampunk feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think I completely agree. I think the spectacle of the event, it's a shame that we will be unable to attend, but we'll certainly be there in spirit. And I 100% plan on tuning into town halls and tournaments and cheering the team and the community from a distance. And hopefully that means we get kind of a rotating Splinterfest around the world, and maybe this time next year we can be looking forward to Splinterfest Asia, Splinterfest Tokyo, baby.
It would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? I was thinking it could possibly be Europe, but I just think outside of America, like, where would you say the next largest area of kind of players are from? Philippines, Japan?
I would guess volume wise, it's got to be the Asian community. Yeah, Philippines, Vietnam. There's a good chunk in Thailand. We've got a couple of guilds here in Taiwan. Singapore, we've got a couple of guild mates from Singapore and the Philippines. Yeah, and I think Level Up Life, another content creator on YouTube, he's based in the Philippines, and he's been building a very cool community and kind of rallying the troops around the game as he is kind of pitching it as his investment opportunity. But all the gamers, all the players, they just love the game. And, I think they are reaping some pretty solid benefits, substantial benefits from playing and holding and potentially selling some cards. But yeah, I would have to guess that Asia's, if not the very top, it's near the top of the list for kind of emerging markets to go after for Splinterlands and Co.
Yeah. I wonder why it hasn't kicked off in Taiwan yet. I wonder what's the reasoning. Is it just understanding the whole mechanics of it, like, because it's all in English? But I don't know, is it like there must be, no, there's
you can drop down. Yeah, you've got simplified and traditional characters available as like in-game language.
All right. So what's the that?
I think it's here. I think. So I hunted down one of the. Every once in a while, I'll come across a player from one of the Taiwanese guilds.
Oh, okay.
And I hopped into the guild, and they use Lion as their primary
Mm.
communication platform. And I attempted to hop in. I dropped some Chinese and said, "What's up? I'm Ben. I'd love to hop in and chat around." My my application got declined.
Ah,
Maybe they saw that I was Lao Y and said,
Johnny
no.
Foreigner.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for translating that for me. Um, maybe that was reason enough to disallow my application from entering their line group. But I think it's there. I just think a lot of them do not use Discord or YouTube the way that the rest of us do.
Yeah, there must be something, but I don't necessarily feel you have to be in Discord to play the game, or you. I suppose YouTube it does help. Just if you want to follow the news and learn various stuff. But I'm sure in Chinese, I'm sure there's people out there playing it. I just feel it's kind of set up at everyone. So many people play those games. Like you walk past people and they're just playing these random games. I just feel it could explode over here because technology wise, everyone's on it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, mobile gaming is massive. Um, yeah.
So why you mentioned before off air you're thinking about getting a ticket? What would be your reasons for that?
Uh, I want a T-shirt, man. I want a $300 T-shirt. No, I think the swag and the in-game title is cool, but I think
Mm,
the real prize is the rights to the summoner card. I
mm.
don't think I'm in the position. I've got some other financial priorities within the game aside from the legendary summoner, but I feel like it is a potentially lucrative flip opportunity. It's a $300 discount on a legendary summoner, and if she is a game changing summoner, then that $300 very well could be flipped for double. Um, so yeah, and plus all the swag and all the other stuff, I think is a cool bonus. I don't know if I would get shunned by the community for flaunting a Splinterfest title without having been an attendee, but hey man, I'm there in spirit. Maybe you can put my title in italics or something.
Yeah, I wonder what the title is going to be. But I saw just before, yeah, if you like for investment wise, like the Waka card is like the cheapest is like 729 for a regular level 4, and the gold foil is over 4,000. So that's already less than what was originally paid, right?
Yeah, but I think Waka. I don't know. You and I have talked about this off air. I don't know if it's made it on air, but I feel like Waka is criminally underrated. I think he's a fantastic summoner. 3 mana for a legendary summoner with the potential to drop poison on the entire team it's a great
Yeah.
great ability.
Oh,
Um,
mate, that'd be in heaven if I had. That's like one of my favorite abilities. But do you
agreed.
think it's
Yeah.
just a case of people not really when they've rented it? It's only like for a day. Now it's 2 days, but it could possibly be they just didn't play it with the right cards. I kind of get that feeling with your man Wraith that is not getting much love. But when I do play against him, and I met him in a couple of brawls and tourneys, I've won. But the people that are playing with him haven't had any, cards that utilize his abilities. They don't have magic reflect. They don't have return fire. They don't have thorns. So it could just be a case of not utilizing his abilities.
Well, I think it's do you have the means to utilize those abilities?
Yeah.
I think Grandmaster Wraith is a great example of that, where in order to maximize the value that Wraith brings to the table, you need like underline bold exclamation point the shield bearer. That taunt and that big fat armor, that's the game changer for Wraith, and he has become such a hot commodity and such an expensive addition to the team. I just don't think folks have the means to capitalize on Wraith yet. So, perhaps we see, we were talking a couple of weeks ago, and I still think it's my money is on a legendary taunt neutral as the Rift Watchers promo card. And, if that is to come out, I bet Wraith skyrockets. And, there's always Rebellion on, probably 6-7 months away, that has every potential to really drive up the value for both Wraith and Waka, and also the Conqueror, right? And the other legendary summoners thus far unseen.
It could be like in a month's time, people are saying the same thing about Conqueror. Maybe, I think there's so much eagerness and anticipation for these legendary summoners, is that when they do drop, people are just expecting, just to win every game. But you've got to use these summoners in the right way. Like yesterday, I beat Wraith with Sloan. I don't think that necessarily should be happening. I'm not saying I'm not the best of players, but I think if you're playing Wraith, you just have to use them in the right context.
Agreed. Yeah, the rule set is really the name of the game. If it's a 15 mana battle and you're tossing Wraith in there, about 45% of your total mana cap going towards the summoner, it's probably going to be a little tough to make ends meet in terms of achieving victory there. But
yeah. I can't remember what the mana was, but I used Wraith, and what did I have? I just had the Pellicle Conjurer up front. I had the other magic reflect guy behind him. I had Venari Crystal Smith, and Venari the guy with the hammer. So bad with names. The guy who just repairs. He's another Venari, right?
Scavo.
Sorry, Scavo Hireling. Yeah,
that sounds like a like Aussie slang for something.
Scavo. Yeah.
Do you have your Scavo for brekkie, mate?
And I can't remember what I had at the back, but I just tested it. It wasn't the brawl, because I don't test things in brawls. I just go with what I know. So it must have been that Tony that I was just getting wiped the floor with. So I just tested it. Or maybe it was a ranked one. And it was amazing. Just with a bit of repair and in the right rule sets, I think there was no sneak or snipe. So it was just perfect for Wraith. So yeah.
Yeah. Play the rule set, right? I think that's where a lot of us that have predominantly Chaos Legion decks get hosed. If it's melee only and your options are Earth and somebody has Milo and you've got Obsidian, come on.
Yeah.
That's not fun. we know what's going to happen with that one.
Yeah, every time I'm playing the Brawl or Tony, I've just got my teams ready to go, and it's only melee, and then you just see Milo. It's you kind of, there's I don't know, a 10% chance you're going to do it, but
yeah, options are pretty slim, and yeah. So, back to the original point. It's going to be interesting to see how the team kind of continues this hype and build up around Rift Watchers. What are the abilities that are going to be kind of unveiled and released with this set. And, I think we're, potentially one announcement away from watching SPS go back into double digits and vouchers climbing back to about that dollar mark.
Wow.
And I would say that's got to be right around the corner. I can't imagine that the team's going to wait until the week of Rift Watchers to drop the edition details and the ability details.
You think that announcement alone for Rift Watchers is enough to push
Oh yeah,
SPS into double? Really?
I think so. I mean, that's the only way to get into the game, right? That or wait until other folks buy and resell. But that's, if there's only a select few folks purchasing via SPS the actual Rift Watchers packs, though that select few is going to be defining the market, right? And cards could be potentially very, very pricey. So until SPS achieves kind of a value worthy of swapping it out for Rift Watchers packs, I think it's just going to be the whales that are buying packs up and defining what the market looks like for those cards.
But do you feel that the majority are going to be bought by whales, or you think a lot of just the general players are going to be FOMOing in? But because, like you say, they have to get SPS to do it, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I find it very hard to see myself spending, right now SPS is about 6 cents a piece. And that would be, just under 100 SPS per pack. I can't do that. I'm no chance in hell am I going to swap out, a few hundred SPS for 5 packs of Rift Watchers.
That's what it is now as well, right?
That's what it is right now. Yeah.
If that goes, it's going to be more.
I mean, I think if SPS gets into 20 cents range, which is both, what you and I had predicted a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think that will probably be where the tide turns and more folks, average players like you and I, start to consider making purchases of packs. It's a much more achievable number in terms of bang for your buck, so to speak.
Yeah, it's just when you really think about it, so interesting, right? Like you have this SPS at such a good price now, but what is going to be that catalyst to make you just, if I'm talking about, if you want these Rift Watcher packs, if you want them, you should be getting your SPS now, right? You should not
100%.
be waiting. You should not be waiting. But this is what happens though. It's like even me in my previous history with crypto is like, or I think it's just most people just wait for it to go up before they buy, right? It's really just to change our lizard brains, just to change it that now is the time. But it's just like so ingrained in us, like it's going up, it's going up. It's going to come. No, it's go. All right, I'm going to have to buy it. And now it's like close to 10, 10 cents.
Buy at the bottom, fellas and ladies.
Is that financial advice?
I'm speaking to me, myself, and Irene, bro. And I've made just to kind of share my personal approach. I've made a series of 3 or 4 not insignificant purchase of SPS over the last couple of weeks, and I have every intention of using that SPS towards a node. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what does Rift Watchers entail, and we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, like I said, I think we're a few short weeks away from getting some game changing SPS catalyst announcement that's going to drive some prices up.
Yeah. I think I was thinking just this week, I think, everyone just always talks about this play to earn gaming. But I kind of think Splinterlands is changing it, changing the whole just the whole ecosystem of that. I kind of feel it's just like invest to play to earn. It's
Mm.
just because with Splinterlands, for example, if you don't invest in this game, number one, you're not going to be able to play it as well as you would like, and you're definitely not going to be able to earn as much. Like back in the day when I got into this game, why were people coming to this game? It's just because of the amount of money that was um being banded around that you could earn, right? But and that is gonna possibly happen again, whether it's in the future, near future, or a couple of years down the line. But it's gonna happen. But people just have to know that Splinterlands isn't just a play to earn game.
Mm.
It's just become invest to play to earn. So
Well, I mean, I think
time.
it's a Hawks. Shout out to Hawks. He recently started a newsletter, and that's kind of been his the focus of his most recent newsletter. I think I received it yesterday. So if you
His new
listen,
one.
yeah, if you're listening,
Oh,
Hawks, shout out to you, man. That was well done, well articulated, and I completely agree. But he referred to. Let me see if I can find it. I forget what he called his approach. Proof of victory or proof of ownership.
mm,
Um, so essentially, defining these things real quickly, proof of ownership is rewarding players for owning assets across the ecosystem. So think airdrop
yeah,
and how you could essentially just own a shit ton of CP and DEC, and you were getting rewarded
yeah,
significantly via daily airdrops. And now, proof of victory is defined as rewarding players for winning matches, especially those players who win a higher rate of their matches. Um,
mm,
so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The ownership is a significant piece, and I don't think we'll ever move entirely towards one or the other end of that spectrum. It's all about the balance, right? Because there's going to be those players that, from countries like, the Philippines and lesser developed nations around the world that, they're just as interested as we are in playing the game. The means to securing and owning a very competitive gold league deck, for example, is it's a lot more difficult to come by.
yeah,
So, I think that's where the rental market comes into play. And that's not to say that, we've got a few guild mates who I think own CP is probably 5 digits still, under 100,000 CP, but they're routinely up in champ, thanks to the rental markets.
wow,
Um, so yeah, I think the ownership piece is really going to be predicated by the staked SPS once we move into kind of the final phase of ranked rewards. Outside of tournaments, that is. But yeah, good stuff.
yeah, yeah. Exciting times as always. Well, and maybe next week we can talk about. Aggie mentioned in the town hall that Node license holders are going to be able to receive their SPS. I believe it's from
Oh,
like the 28th, 29th.
it's this weekend. I completely forgot about that. I knew it was coming, but I completely forgot that it was
Yeah.
the time is nigh. Here we go.
I think. Oh no, maybe it must be at the next update. So is that Tuesday? I don't know. Whatever time. I think that's the
30th.
30th of yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be yeah a big shake up in the game as well. Yeah, loads of things happening, and not just small things like big changes in the game. First movers, man. First movers.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, you want to wrap this up with our daily challenge?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let me send you over an invite. Let's hop down to here we go.
And
Challenge is sent.
if the audience isn't aware, I am on a bit of a winning streak with against B Jangles. I can't remember the last time he won. So Ben's playing for honor. But to be honest, the last game I kind of really like playing the cube and Bakjira, just going for sustainability. But as they say, a win's a win. A
No
win's a
matter
win.
how sheepish.
I'm kind of I was kind of disappointed I played Bakjira. I could have just smashed you, finished you off a little bit earlier, but sometimes it
I'm Kieran. You just keep let the people know, man. Let's hear that British trash talk, dude. I'll wait until post game.
I know I've set myself up for a loss here.
I'm gonna take you off that high horse and plop you on a little pony there, bud.
To be honest, you win when it matters though. Like you're kind of caning at the tournaments. I'm kind of not
Oh
doing
boy, here
so
we go.
well. Oh, there you go. You know
So
what?
we've got.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like the looks of this. We've got a poison match, noxious fumes, and even Stevens. 15 mana cap, Earth and Dragon available. You want to play this one?
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
I like to play the ones that you're not too keen on. Gives
Well,
me a
how much
fighting
mana?
chance.
How much mana is the cube?
The cube, you know what? I took it off the rental market yesterday
All right.
because I just thought the only time I play it is against you, and I don't want to play it every time. But yeah, today would have been the perfect opportunity, right?
So no cube in sight. All right.
Oh, and I had Kron. I took Kron out for the
Oh, boo-hoo, bro.
oh man.
Oh man. All righty, bud. Let's see what we got here.
Would this work? Surely not. Surely couldn't pull this one out.
Yeah, these lower mana matches can go in a hurry, especially with poison. We might have to get the people a second one.
Oh, depends
It does all depend.
if I win or lose.
Yeah, let's reassess how big that horse is once this battle's over.
Hmm. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Go for it. You ready?
I'm in. Oh, all right. So let me share my screen here.
You got Dr. Blight.
You know it. Okay, so I went with old Obsidian, and I fielded the Zenith Monk up front, the Fungus Fiend in the second position, and then Venator Kenjo for a little bit of immunity, and my boy Blight in the background, picking up the pieces. What was your route here?
You know, I was gonna do exactly the same as you. I don't know whether I would have done it in the same order, but yeah, I was gonna go for Blight with your man Zenith Monk at the front, but I have gone for one of my favorite cards ever, Dijin Shawala. I just went for her because I just thought with Enrage, when she gets that poisoned, but she's going to be hit by Dr. Blight, and I've gone for the Fiend, same as you, and Veneta Kinjo. But time will
And
tell. So what
you toss quicks in there, so you're gonna have
I did do, sorry, I mentioned, yeah, I
a
didn't mention.
speed advantage.
Well,
You'll
I'm
attack
gonna
first
nerf
because
you
our speed
two.
will be the same, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna nerf you one. Yeah, so our speed will be the same, but you'll go first because you got the epic.
Would have been better if I went second and then
Yeah, because I'll get the heal, but then I'll take
yeah.
some thorns. Um,
I'm early prediction, I'm gonna say you.
yeah, it depends how quickly the Chihuahua Blight's gonna be. He's the X factor here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll have
Well,
a pretty
you're
healthy HP by
yeah,
the time he gets to the front.
you will.
But I've got to wipe out the Chihuahua. All right, let's rumble this baby.
Will my health go up with enrage? It will, right?
No, speed and melee though.
Oh god. All right. Let's just kick it off on yours. Okay, well you start. Okay.
All right, so
Chihuahua's down to 5 health. That's not looking good.
the Chihuahua is. So I paused it real quickly. So Blight is dropping 3 magic. Chihuahua's down to 5 health. He's enraged. He's gonna wipe out the monk right now. My Fiend is gonna kill himself on the thorns. Blight's gonna go up some HP, and then I've got. Yeah, I think I might have you. The 3
Yeah.
magic is going to be too much with the scavenge.
Oh, hello. Ah, didn't want it then.
All right, so Blight's at 5
Yeah.
health. Oh yeah, ball game,
Ah, well played, sir.
ball game.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, Dr.
Doctor
Blight.
Blight,
That's it. Okay. That'll
PhD.
teach me to
PhD will take you
trash.
places in life, kids.
That'll teach me to trash talk you
Yeah, how's that?
before the match.
How's that pony riding there, bud?
Yeah, I was gonna go for that. Should have gone. Should have
You
gone.
know, woulda, coulda,
The same
shoulda.
as you. Woulda, coulda,
Woulda,
shoulda.
coulda, shoulda. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. We've been bending your ear for the better part of the last 90 minutes. We appreciate you tuning in. Kieran, you got any parting words of wisdom for the people?
Just to let people know that we are now uploading our podcast to YouTube. If you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, so we're going to be doing a lot more on YouTube. So join us there, the People's Guild, as usual. And yeah, just great times ahead. I feel excited about the game as always, and let us know through our various forms of communication. If you're going to Splinterfest, if you have any feedback regarding the podcast, we're always open to ideas.
And we'd love to hear. I want to hear. A lot of you guys are out there are a whole lot brighter and more creative than myself. I wasn't going to throw you under the bus there. I'd love to hear what kind of creative abilities you guys are kind of predicting for Rift Watchers and perhaps beyond. Yeah, my time warp is one that I'm kind of hitching my wagon to. That's what I'm calling for at this moment in time. And yeah, I think we've been waiting for a good counter to Kitty, and I think taking away the speed, reversing the speed is an interesting mechanic to keep that kitty from purring. Cool.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everyone. This is
The People's Guild.